So welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. We're taking the Strength LR Final Form Cooler into the Ultimate Red Zone GT Edition against Omega. And this is actually a pretty good start, I'm not gonna lie, this is actually a decent setup first rotation. No stack up for Cooler unfortunately, but still, at least we're protected against any super attacks that are gonna come our way. But as always, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, the support is very much appreciated. And yeah, as I said, this is a pretty good start. We've got both Golden Freezers on rotation. You can super attack him all you want, that is not a problem. Just unfortunate I couldn't get my LR Cooler to stack up his defense at all, but still. The main important bit right now is just building up his passive, which of course he's going to do very, very easily with how many attacks he's going to be doing in the turn. Bit of extra damage as well by doing the additional supers, but again, no stack on the attack, but it's okay. Again, as I said, the important part right now is just building up his passive, which is exactly what he's doing. We should get a fourth one. There's the fourth one. We only need 6 more attacks and he is ready to go. And then we should easily, next time he comes back around, be getting those 18 keys off pretty much guaranteed from here on out, which is exactly what we want, which means he's maximizing his damage, he's constantly stacking, and he's maximizing his damage even more throughout the fight. Okay, you've locked Janemba. Do you know what? That's actually not, it's not the worst, I guess. It does mean the friend cooler is going in slot 1. That does mean he is going in slot 1. Janemba's support is off as well. Yeah, he's taking double digits. He's taking double digits. I know Omega's first phase, as with all the Shadow Dragons, isn't the strongest, but still, double digits prior to supering, that's still pretty decent, and he's only going to get stronger from here, especially if those additionals do become supers, which they are not. And then Tyrus is going to have to sit on rotation for a bit, which, I mean, if Cooler was tanking that prior to supering, Tyrus should be fine, especially with a super coming off. Yeah, look at that. He's good. He's fine. He's fine. But let me actually pull up these stats for Shenron. It's actually been a hot minute since I've been back into Shenron stage. Like, literally, ever since I've beaten it, I haven't been back into this stage once. So let me actually go grab Shenron's stats. I do know he locked, which he's already done to us already, but I do know that was one of his main gimmicks, which I absolutely hate. I despise lock-in. So yeah, the first phase is obviously in, second strength, the last one's in. 40% chance to seal, 40% chance to lock, which Cooler is actually locked. That's actually very frustrating. But it's still not the worst. It's still not the worst because we're going to put Golden Freezer in slot 1. Golden Freezer's going to tank. Janemba can build himself up slightly in slot 2 while having type advantage. And at least my Cooler can stack up this time. And as long as you get like an additional super off, he should be good for the remainder of the turn. But in terms of basics, the Omega or Shin at this point, or Sin or Shin Shenron, whichever. It's literally been so many years and I still haven't decided which preference for saying his name. Whether it's Sin or Shin. But on basics, he's doing 220k. And on supers, they can do 660. So, I mean, they can still do a decent amount of damage. They can still do a decent amount of damage. So, you know, let me not knock it too much. But obviously, then Shenron's not on the same level as Broly completely. But so far, so good. Of course, mine should almost be finished stacking up by now. We were on, what, 4 attacks last turn? So we should be on around about 4 attacks this turn. So 2 more attacks, and my LR Cooler's ready to go. Good thing we managed to get a stack up on the attack. You know, this isn't one of the longest red zone phases, but because of how much health Shenron starts off with the Shadow Dragons, which is 31 mil, then he goes up to 35, and then he goes up to 40.5. No, he goes 40.5, and then he goes back down to 35. Because of how much damage reduction he has, along with how much health he has, they're actually quite meaty phases. So while it doesn't have the most phases, it only has 3, like even Broly has more. You do spend a lot of time in each phase. Okay, Tyrus got locked. Is that it? Yeah, just Tyrus locked. How many attacks at the end? Like 3? 3, 4? It's looking like 4. I mean, Cooler's up to, at least the friend Cooler's up to 236k defense already, and he's going to get some supers off, so he should be good. Golden Freezer's good. I mean, I know the smarter thing would have been put Golden Freezer in the middle slot, but I want to see how Cooler tanks. I'm not going to lie. Maybe I use a Whis. No, do you know what? I'm not going to use a Whis. I'm not going to use a Whis. I feel like we should be okay. I feel like we should be okay. I'm going to manifest, because that's the key to Dokkan. You know, beating stuff, pulling the new unit you want. It's all about manifestation, my guys. Manifestation. So I'm going to manifest that Turles isn't being supered. Even though there's about 3-4 attacks in slot 3, I'm going to manifest that Turles is not being supered. And then it shouldn't happen. Or you hope. Fingers crossed it doesn't happen. But yeah, I'm going to manifest that Turles doesn't get supered. Now just watch Cooler go to work. See, Turles isn't getting supered. How much is Cooler taking? Yeah, he does have support as well from Turles, 40%. Actually, no, he doesn't have the defense. 148k is actually fine. That's not bad. And then tanking double digits again on basics. I almost forgot he doesn't actually have the full support from Turles. He just has the attack buff because we're not facing a super class enemy. So even without the defense buff from Turles, that's a big additional. I actually forgot you could stun Shenron. That's how long it's been. You can actually stun the Shadow Dragons. I mean, that would have been handy beforehand, but you know, never mind. So he's locked Janemba, which is a bit annoying. Actually, no, he sealed Janemba. Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. That's actually just more than fine. Because I just need Janemba to get some attacks off, and then we'll give you all of these. We'll get some health back and the support off as well. Not that we really need it. But he's stunned, so it doesn't actually matter. I actually completely forgot you can stun the Shadow Dragons. And you can seal them. And you can lower their attack and defense. I completely forgot, you know. Actually, this is, as I said, this is how long I haven't been in the Omega Shenron stage for. I generally forgot you could do all these things. So my Cooler is sealed. That's fine because I need to get you back off onto the other rotation anyway. And that allows me to stack up the friend Cooler a little bit more before we enter the next phase and soak up all that potential damage in slot 1 with the Easy A Tech Golden Freezer. That's fine. I mean, so far the first phase has generally been quite a breeze. Yes, we took a super. We got to see how much Cooler can tank for. I don't think even that friend Cooler even additional supered as many times as he possibly could. I think he only done it maybe once, maybe twice. But even so, just over 100k, considering the Shadow Dragon portion of this event does 660k damage on a super. Solid. Solid. Obviously, mine wouldn't tank anywhere near as much because I don't have any dupes. I also don't have potential of another super coming off. Okay, so this is fine for... This is fine for Freezer and Turles. I think I've built Janemba up. Actually, no, I think he needs to do one more attack. It's 3, right? Yeah, I think it's 3. So I'm actually going to do this to build him up one last time. I will just give you these. Janemba, I don't really care what you get either, so I'll just give you the Fizz Orb. And then Turles can have all of those AGL spheres in the middle. Get a little bit more health back as well. So now in the second phase, just against Sin by himself, he's now doing 340k on basic, so there's quite a bit of step up from the Shadow Dragon portion from 220 to 340. And he now does 951,999 damage on a super. So this generally might... Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. I completely forgot about the Nullify from Janemba. Oh, what a unit, man. One of the best defensive units in the game. I completely forgot about the Nullify. What a guy. What a guy. Yeah, okay, this is another good turn. Where are we up to with the Cool? I think one more attack or two and he's fully built up. So I think regardless, he's going to be fully built up in this turn. I think that's for sure. He's going to be fully stacked up in this turn. At least I think so anyway. At least I think so. He's up to 10.6 million already. This is why I really wanted to dupe my Cooler. Like, I really did want to dupe my Cooler. Yep, just... Okay, you dodged. I mean, that's fine because Cooler got to raise his defense, which is what I wanted. He's great to raise his defense again. I mean, that's fine with me. Again, I think this is the turn he's fully brought up, so he should get that guaranteed super off. Yep, there's a third one. Sorry, there's a second one. We've done 3 supers. We've greatly raised our defense twice. Yep, literally not even taking double digits, taking singular digits because of all of that. Yep, I expected a little bit of a chunk on the basics from Janemba, but that's okay. Okay, so my cooler is back. The only thing is, you need to be in slot 1 or 2 to be guarding, so this has to be done. To be fair, that kind of works out ideal considering how many attacks are in slot 3. Again, only 1 attack in the middle slot against my cooler. We'll give you these, and then we'll get some AGL key spheres just to get some health back. In the next turn, we should be getting a Dokkan attack off. So far, so good. So far, this run's going really well. So far, this run is going really well. Now, I know Shenron isn't on the same kind of level as Broly, but Shenron's still no slouch. You know, Broly does have the tech phase, which can actually catch you off guard if you're not careful with the, like, you know, even the year 7s, because they wouldn't have stacked up quite a bit. They can still take quite a bit of damage against that phase. You still want to avoid using an item, you know, and then you have the strength phase, the AoE phase, which is just generally generally menacing, so you have to double Whis. But still, as I said, Shenron's still no slouch. As I said, right now in the phase we're on, he still has 40.5 million health. He can still do 340 on the basics. Perfect person to super, by the way. And he still does 951k on a super. I'll say 952, like it's 951,999. Basically 952k. But considering the setup we've got, it's really annoying that I get the Dokkan attack with you. But what can you do? I mean, Cooler would have done so much damage, but you know, what can you do? Literally, because of the Turles support, I literally could not help getting the super attack off with the Golden Frieza. Like, it just generally was impossible to avoid, but you know, it is what it is. It's fine. Cooler's still going to do a good amount of damage. It's just a shame we couldn't give him the Dokkan attack to do some pretty ridiculous amounts of damage. But it's fine. What could have been? What could have been? I mean, that's not bad. I mean, again, Cooler was on way more, and at least we're probably going to have all of our health back now, which is perfect. We're up to 12.4 mil. This is the beauty of Cooler, right? Yes, he doesn't have the best defense. You know, in an ideal turn, in an ideal scenario, especially if you have a dupe, if all his additionals become supers and you greatly raise your defense on all of them, Cooler defensively is very, very good, along with putting out some ridiculous numbers offensively. And that's the beauty of Cooler. As I said, a dupe helps him do that because you can greatly raise your defense an extra time. But this is the beauty of Cooler, is he's going to be stacking his attack the entire time, and he's just going to be doing some insane amounts of damage. You know, I said this before, Red Zone's all about getting in and getting out as quick as possible, and that's exactly what Cooler does. Do you know what? I'm going to save your rage mode. Like, there's just no point using it right now, so I'm going to save it. And then we'll give all of these to Tech Janemba. You know, why Cooler isn't like a defensive beast. You know, while Tech LRSSJ Goku is the more kind of reliable, out and out, just brick wall defensive unit, you know, with his guard, guaranteed guard after revive, stacking defense, those type of things, nullify. Oh, Janemba's so good, man. I'm so glad that Dokkan awakened him recently after all this time. You know, while Cooler isn't that, as I said, if those additional supers do come off, and again, this isn't as reliable, obviously it's nowhere near as reliable as a unit that has, you know, stacking defense or has guard or damage reduction. But again, if those additional supers become 12 key supers, like if you additional super and greatly raise your defense the pinnacle amount of times you possibly can in a turn, Cooler generally defensively is very, very good. And as I said, well, that's why a dupe helps. And an extra stack up helps quite a lot. You know, for an extra bit of defense, an extra 50% defense. But just the amount of damage he can do is generally insane. Like, we're up to over 1.4 mil, and we're already on 244k defense at the start of the turn before we've even supered. But yeah, now the final phase. So he has less health. Mega now has 35 million health rather than 40 and a half. His basics now do 450. And he does 1.575 million damage on a super. So we're going to pop this just so we can do loads of damage. Again, get in and get out. That's one less attack in slot 1 we have to worry about, which means AGL Golden Freeze is only getting hit once. We'll pick those up, and I don't really mind what we're taking with you, so I'll just take that in the corner. And again, there's only one attack in the middle slot against Cooler. For some reason, I don't know why that's been happening a lot. Maybe Shenron's just scared of Cooler. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he literally knows that he's the strongest in the universe. The majority of turns, Cooler's only had to deal with one attack in the second slot. Just one. Literally just one. So there's one additional. He's greatly raised his defense once off of like what, 240k defense. Can we get the second one, the 2 additionals from the passive? Can the second one be super? No, unfortunately not. One from the dupe system? No, just the basic. So we only greatly raised our defense once. Oh no, tell a lie, we've greatly raised our defense twice. And we're still taking double digits. Or at least the friend Cooler is anyway. But Cooler is still taking double digits, even against the final phase of Omega, where he's doing 450k on basics. Even this Golden Freezer is taking a lot on basics. Oh, I forgot. I completely forgot. And this is the beauty of Cooler against Shenron. I completely forgot. Omega has his countdown super. Omega has his countdown super. Oh, we have the support with my one as well. Definitely going to pop that off. And then we'll put the rage mode. Why not? Why not? We'll get a little bit of extra damage in for free. But this is where Cooler can come in handy like quite a lot, because I completely forgot. Omega has the countdown KO super. You know, regardless of what you do, you're gonna die. So at least with Cooler, with how much damage he can do, especially while he's been stacking his attack the entire time and doing ridiculous amounts of damage and doing insane amounts of damage as a collective with all those additionals coming off, especially if they're supers. Cooler's doing some insane amounts of damage. That way, again, as I said, with Red Zone, you want to get in and you want to get out as quickly as possible. And with Shenron, who has a KO super, that works perfectly for a Red Zone event like this, where you literally in this phase want to get in, do as much damage as possible, get out so you're not KO supered, which we don't have to worry about because I popped in Ember's Rage. So yeah, you do that. Oh no, that was so much damage. So much damage we're not taking. So this is where Cooler comes in very handy. So now that that's out of the way, I'm going to pop a Whis just in case because of Turles. So we're going to take these. How much defense is my Cooler on? My Cooler's on 302k defense because of the support. So even though my Cooler doesn't have the possibility of getting his like an extra additional off like the friend one, he should be good off of like 1, maybe 2 supers. Actually, no, he will be good off of 1 or 2 supers because he's literally just taking basics. He's literally just taking basics. But I'm a little bit worried about the Turles. We've come so far. My Cooler's now up to just over 10 mil. Shenron's almost dead. I'd rather not risk it. I'd rather not risk it. Cooler, go to work. I want an additional super. Still no additional super. There's another one, though. I mean, we've kind of just breezed through this. Cooler's just been doing just ridiculous. I said, as a collective, the amount of damage Cooler can do, again, especially stacking on top of what he's doing. Because you're pretty much, apart from like turn 1, you're pretty much guaranteed to always get his 18 key off. So because of that, you're just non-stop doing more and more damage. You're stacking, which in turn is making you do more and more damage every single rotation. We're going to put Cooler in slot 1 just so we can finish this off. What is he up to right now? He's up to almost a 3 million attack stat. That is insane. That is insane. He's on almost a 3 million attack stat. Before I even picked up an orb. Actually, no, I think it was after I picked up some orbs. But still, I said, because he's stacking, he's non-stop getting his attacks getting stronger and stronger throughout the entire event. You're doing just ridiculous amounts of damage anyway, and then the collective damage you're doing, you're literally just bullying Shenron. Literally, and as I said, with a Red Zone stage like this that has a KO super, Cooler is ideal when you want to get in and get out, and especially next to Janemba, who's going to be guarding the entire time, especially with a little bit of extra defense as well, after you've built him up in slot 2 with, what, 3 attacks? And then you can utilize his rage mode to kind of bait the KO super, and then just Cooler just carries on bullying him. But yeah, Cooler literally just dominated that, and the thing that benefits Cooler a hell of a lot, before we do wrap up, the thing that benefits Cooler a hell of a lot is he has a lot of great guarding units. He has a lot of great defensive units. You know, this Frieza, what is it, 8% damage reduction? Yeah, AGL Golden Frieza also has, what, 90% damage reduction? In a few months, Global is going to get AGL LR Golden Frieza, who's one of the best defensive units and yellow coin LRs in the game. Janemba, very good, has guard. This Janemba, very good, has guard. He has a lot of great units around him that are very good defensively, where you can just let them soak up all the damage, even though Cooler can do that himself, especially with the additional supers. But Cooler can just do what he does best, which is literally just bully the bosses and just do ridiculous amounts of damage while getting stronger and stronger and doing insane amounts of damage as a collective in one turn. That's the beauty of Cooler's 200% lead. But let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys, and push!